Oh, heck yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? It is Joey from the SuperHeroFan Show, and today, in honor of Telltale having announced that the second season of Batman the Telltale series is going to be coming out August 8th, I believe was the date. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that. I am going to be playing through the entire first season of Batman the Telltale series. I'm a huge Telltale Games fan. I really love the whole Telltale format of like making choices and the point-and-click adventure thing. And Batman, I freaking love Batman. I mean, for God's sake, I run a channel called the SuperHeroFan Show. Of course I like Batman. So this game, I think, is really unique and really cool with all of what it does as a narrative. It's kind of storytelling for the Batman character. It's kind of, I like to liken it to the Ultimate Universe for Batman. In case you're not aware, like Ultimate Marvel Universe is kind of like it's still the same as the original Marvel, kinda, or like we start from a similar way, but then there's some minor things that tweak things and change kind of the overall vibe of things. So that's kind of what I think this is, because it's still very much Batman, but there are a lot of changes and some very interesting ones. I have to say, I'm sure I'll be talking a lot about those different changes as we go on, but. God, this game is so cool, and I love I'm surprised I didn't talk about it yet, the opening comic book type intro thing was really cool. So cool. I love the music in this too. Really wonderful. Done by Jared Emerson Johnson, who does a lot of the Telltale music. It's really cool. It's awesome, and this game is really cool. A lot of Batman Bruce Wayne dynamics. You get to play a lot as Bruce Wayne, interestingly. So let's just hop right in to the very first episode here. So this game is an episodic game series, and we're going to start with episode 1, Realm of Shadows. And then kind of just showing off some of the other episodes here. These are kind of what we're going to see as we go on, but the episodic series is something that Telltale likes to do, in that they'll release an episode of a game, and they'll take in feedback into consideration when they are developing the next ones. So yeah. Now we get to choose our Bat Tech color. Now this is, usually I choose blue. I usually choose blue because it fits more with the aesthetics of Batman, but you know what? Red is my favorite color. I'm going with red. Also, it kind of gives me a Batman Beyond kind of vibe, so that's kind of cool. I could see a case being made for yellow, just because of the whole yellow emblem on the bat suit type thing. So yeah. But anyway, I'm very excited for the next season of this game. Obviously, I've played through this game before, so some choices I will be making, I will know the outcomes already. I will not spoil things as we go ahead. I will not spoil things that happen later on in the game as we're talking about it now. So we're gonna kind of enjoy this together. So there will probably be periods where I am silent, just to kind of let you guys immerse yourself into it. But yeah, you will be hearing my commentary and my thoughts on all things Batman the Telltale series. So let's get going with episode 1. I love the art style and the aesthetics. A lot of the character models look really cool, very comic booky. Here we are at City Hall.
Hey, what are you?
Oh, by the way, I probably should have mentioned that this game is rated M. So, yeah, gonna see a lot of that type of thing going on in this. Oh, but we're starting here with the typical heist at the mayor's office in City Hall.
Get it open. On it.
Is that an elect Harvey Dent
You think he's gonna
sign
show?
back
Bring
there?
the whole
Oh,
goddamn
interesting.
place down. Stay focused. We'll be out of here before anyone can stop us.
I really like the slow build up here, because we know what's gonna happen, and we know who they're talking about, but takes a little bit to see the man of the hour.
Christ.
Hey, this guy looks familiar. Could he maybe be Jim Gordon, future police commissioner, but right now is just a lieutenant? I think it might be.
Gordon. They're on the 52nd floor. I'm going in.
Hey, wait! Wait for backup!
Don't need it.
Take the
Ho ho
stairs.
ho.
I heard
Of
stories,
course he
you know.
doesn't.
Sent 3 home in an ambulance.
dressed in body bags.
No wonder the cops want him dead.
Hey, you ever seen him?
Yeah, Gotham Zoo. All the other flying animals.
Here he is. Oh yeah, that gorgeous red bat tech. I usually don't see a lot of people pick red for this, so hopefully that'll make this playthrough a little bit unique. Oh. Yeah, this guy knows he's screwed. Man, I love the Batman suit in this. So cool. Very armored, but also very comic booky too.
Bruce, you can't keep doing this.
I have to. No one else will.
Every drop of blood, everything you've sacrificed. The city is safer now. It's made you a target. And people will keep you in the crosshairs until you're shot out of the sky.
Criminals in this city. They need something to fear.
I love this as an opening. It's just such a fun heist of Batman just kicking butt, and then it's intercut with some stuff from the future going on. It's really cool. Really cool. Kind of already setting up a lot of the main themes and stuff that we're going to be dealing with throughout the series, such as the whole Batman-Bruce dynamic and kind of why he does this kind of thing. And I like that you can kind of choose how you play Batman, in that you can kind of choose who's the real face, Batman or Bruce Wayne, and you can kind of determine what Batman's motivations are for him doing it. Is he doing it just for the thrill? Does he really think he can be some altruistic hero for Gotham? It's really cool. It's kind of a neat idea to be able to allow players to toy with that. Well, sorry, Jerry, you're screwed.
Back to back, circle up!
I love how even though you're in control of Batman, you don't get to see everything that he does right now. So it's still creating an air of mystery about him. Kind of cool. Like it a lot.
What the hell is this?
The batarangs look so deadly in this. Oh, what a cool shot.
I know you're trying to create a myth, but be careful you don't turn into a monster.
Sometimes you need a monster.
That's a line that actually you'll see in the episode 4 playthrough. That comes back, and that really impacted me when I heard it again. I was like, oh, interesting. They were kind of dealing with is Batman a monster or a hero type thing. Kind of cool. Also, the combat in this game is, I'd say, probably the most expansive out of any of Telltale's combat systems. Just because we get so much of it here. We have, you can probably see in the left-hand corner, there is a glowing red bat symbol, which whatever color it glows is actually determinate based on what color your bat tech is, but it slowly fills up over time with all of your moves you do, and at a certain point in a fight, you will have to execute a finishing move. And if your bar isn't filled up, you won't be able to, and I think you get a game over and have to try the fight again, but yeah, so that right there, that was the finishing move, just whacking him in the face, and then now, boop! But yeah, this is a very action-driven game with some of the inputs you have to do. Ah, Catwoman! I like the Catwoman suit in this. The design's really cool, and I really like the voice performance of her as well. Laura Bailey does a really good job kind of capturing the classic Catwoman spirit, and so does Troy Baker. Well, he doesn't capture the classic Catwoman spirit, but what I meant was he captures the Batman aspect, and I think something that this game does really, really well is that it really humanizes Batman in a way that makes him very relatable. I'd say this is probably the most relatable Batman / Bruce Wayne depiction ever. Maybe, yeah, probably even beating out Christian Bale from Begins and Dark Knight and Rises and all that. I do really like this Batman a lot. They give him a lot of depth. They allow him to have a personality, and obviously you can shape a lot of it. But they're not afraid to let Bruce Wayne show emotions, which is something that I think a lot of Batman media seems to have a misconception about, that Batman can't show emotions. He has to be really stoic, But I think because Batman has more of a personality in this, there are higher stakes here. Also, I love that they kind of borrow the Arrow voice changer thing and give that to Batman. So cool. I love a lot of the choice. So many of the choices they make are really cool. Here's another great opportunity for dialogue, kind of affecting what you're saying about what Batman does and why he does it. Kind of cool.
Gotta admit it, though. You give a good chase. One day you might actually catch me.
Tonight.
Don't you know not to corner a wild animal? It's dangerous.
And let's put you in a cage.
Bring it, Bat.
Okay, so that dialogue was a little 60s Batman there, but it's alright. And this is one of the most this opening fight is one of the most intense fights that happen in this game, actually. I'd say only a handful of other times do we get a fight kind of this big. No, don't get me wrong. There are other major fighting moments and stuff. I just think there's a lot more gameplay-wise that you have to do here compared to other moments in the game, with the possible exception of the final boss in Episode 5. I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that one has a lot more button inputs you have to do, but we gotta chase after her. She clawed my face. That's gonna leave a mark. Good thing I messed up her eye, so that's gonna leave a mark too. It's only fair. Slam her down, yeah. Now I apologize. I think my video feed might have been skipping a tad. I had been recording this while I was streaming, so I kind of just took the stream footage from this because at the moment I don't have any other way of recording gameplay. So that might lead to some issues, but for the most part, it is perfectly fine. So that is also why you see sometimes in the top right corner, oh hey, perfect timing, things like that. Internet connection quality not sufficient to broadcast gameplay, even though it was broadcasting perfectly fine. Yeah, sometimes in the top right corner you'll see stuff like that, or showing that like people are watching or commenting on the stream that I was doing at the time. Yeah, oftentimes I have a kind of a private channel that nobody really knows about, that I stream gameplay on, with the purpose of using that footage for things like this, for gameplay stuff on this channel, or even potentially reviews at some point. That's something I'm looking into doing at one point as well. So yeah.
Why go to all that trouble for this?
Shit.
A myth.
Hey, watch your language, Catwoman.
You, however, are flesh and blood.
God damn it!
And you're getting demoted, Jenkins.
No, wait!
I think more than a lot of recent Telltale games, I think this is probably the best looking. I definitely had my faults with A New Frontier, and I think Guardians of the Galaxy looks fine, but nowhere near this, because this just perfectly captures the comic book aesthetics really well. There's a lot of influence from artists that I really enjoy. There's a lot of Jim Lee I've noticed in some of the character designs. And if you know anything about Jim Lee, then you know probably why I think he's a pretty cool artist. Because if you just look at some of his art, it's really, really fantastic. I had a couple of posters of some of his artwork at one point. There's a really cool one of Batman and Nightwing, which is really cool.
Guess I was wrong about you catching me. Not sure if it was for my sake or yours.
Give up. There's no way out.
Give me some credit. Bye, Bat.
She stole my grapple gun. It's actually kind of funny because you can choose to have your tech color be purple, which is also the same color that Catwoman's tech is. So when that moment happens, I've seen Let's Plays where people have chosen the purple, and when she does that, they don't realize that she stole the Batman's gadgets until a little later. So kind of funny. There's also never really an explanation for where Catwoman does get her gear from. I'd be interested to see if that's something that is addressed in the sequel, maybe. No guarantee she'll show up. We don't know yet, but I'm thinking because she was a huge factor in this, she'll probably play a little bit of a role in the next one.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Forgive that little edit. I had to pause and go do something at the moment. But now here we are. Good old Harvey Dent. You know, I gotta say, Harvey's characterization in this game is probably one of my favorites of the portrayals in this game. And it's funny because I've been saying this entire time that I really like what they do with Catwoman. I really love what they do with Batman. And there's other characters that get introduced later on that I think are handled very well as well. But I think Harvey probably steals the show as probably one of the most compelling characters. And he's quite different from the comics, I would say, in a number of ways. He's got that. He's a very charming and likable guy. Also, kind of bigger than he usually is in the comics and all that. And I really like the whole him running for mayor thing. That's not something I think anything's ever really done. Harvey doing that. I mean, I've seen obviously with the '60s show and Batman Returns, like the Penguin has run for mayor and stuff like that. And even in the alternate reality Batman Earth 1 comic, which is really, really good, Penguin was the mayor.
I don't think you got lost on your way here. Where were you?
See, little moments like this that I really like Harvey, and he's a bit of an interesting character as we see later on, kind of what he's doing with his campaign and kind of where his priorities are.
No one came here tonight to see me. They want to see the Bruce Wayne. Am I right?
It's also interesting because they don't. They establish that Bruce and Harvey have only known each other for a little bit. In the comics, or at least in most interpretations of the comic books, they are childhood friends. But they kind of do that with another character, so I can understand why they didn't do that. But still, they still build a pretty good friendship between the two.
Smile and don't punch anyone.
I'll do anything for Gotham. It's my home.
It's our home. This will help you too, Bruce. Once I've turned this city around as mayor,
so they do some cool things where, obviously we all know where Harvey Dent is going, if we are aware of the comic books. But they do some interesting things here where he's kind of not totally all good from the beginning here. He makes some questionable changes with his campaign, kind of does a couple of dirty things to kind of get his foot in the door of the mayor's office, hopefully. So it's interesting. It creates a little bit more of a layer there. It's more of a layered character in some ways.
well, we can start with a few hands. Come on.
I also really like that you can choose his campaign slogan. Now I don't know if there's I don't know if it's a glitch or something or whatever, but there are a couple of cases where where oh, and that's a character you're gonna want to pay attention to. Oz. Wonder who that could be. But anyway, back to the slogan thing. There are some cases later on where we highlight the slogan, and it's not the one that we picked, unless you picked "Put a Dent in Crime," because they talk about that with like the news stations and all that.
You believe in Dent, we believe in you. After all, whoever you support is a reflection on you.
And we trust someone like you.
You know, these two are Bob and Regina Zellerbach. They are, I believe, I know Regina is supposed to be the chairwoman of Wayne Enterprises. I think Bob's character is supposed to have something to do with that too, but as far as I'm aware, they are not characters from the comic books.
Old families like ours should flock together, you know, like birds.
You're preaching, dear.
You know, now I remember when this episode first came out, a lot of people took that line as an allusion to the fact that they might be in the Court of Owls, which, you know, I don't think it's spoiling anything here, but the Court of Owls is not involved in this game, so they're not, you know, a factor. I mean, it's very, very possible that they, you know, that these two are revealed as Court of Owls members in the second season, if that's where they decide to take that storyline. So it's always possible. You never know, but. Yeah, these characters, you don't really see Bob anymore after this, and Regina shows up a couple times later because she has a direct link with Bruce at Wayne Enterprises, which is interesting that that Harvey tries to introduce Bruce to them, and he's all like, "Yeah, I know them. They work at Wayne Enterprises." Kind of interesting that Harvey would be talking to them and not be aware of that, but you know, whatever. He's probably too in his head, focusing on the campaign and all of that.
I am not doing this alone. With Bruce's help, we're replacing the dangerously unsecure Arkham Asylum with a state-of-the-art mental health facility to help Gotham's most at-risk individuals. It will be dedicated to Thomas and Martha Wayne, in the hopes that their fate...
For all your parents did for this city. Oh, to be killed in a botched robbery in some alleyway. It was terrible. Truly terrible.
Tragedy like that at such a young age must have been crippling.
If only that.
Yeah. Also, I'm standing right in front of you, so
maybe,
you know.
well, I don't like to think.
Appreciate it, but you know, can we?
And I'm sure
we'll probably just stop talking about the fact that I watched my parents die in front of me. You know.
Speaking with you too.
And thank you, Bruce, for investing in the health of this city's future.
And you know, you can be a bit of a jerk.
Mr. Dent.
About that and about a lot of other things too, but you know, for this playthrough, I'm kind of trying to play it as like the best run through, kinda, or at least what I see are the better choices here. So I'm gonna be playing good cop most of the time, you know.
Oh, well, hello. Harvey Dent, Gotham's next mayor, and eager to know you.
Vicky Vale. Not interested. And reporter for the Gotham Gazette.
This is a private...
What an introduction.
No reporters allowed.
I love this scene, introducing her. She's a fun character in this.
Well, you can ask me whatever you want at the press conference tomorrow.
Actually, I'm here for Mr. Wayne.
Well, he certainly doesn't have...
You know, I love how when this was announced, some people were freaking out because Vicky Vale wasn't blonde. They're like, "Oh, she's blonde in the comics. She should be blonde."
Okay with that?
Well, actually, in the comic book, she's typically a redhead. You're just thinking of Arkham City and the 1989 film where she's blonde. so they got it totally wrong. How dare they make her a brunette?
Bruce, you've been going around.
I also love that you can kind of flirt with her here, kind of showing the like typical public flirty Bruce persona. It's kind of fun.
Before all the champagne runs out.
In fact, you're going to see that right here.
I'm doing better now that you're here. Well, I'll tell you, if all these stuffed shirts weren't around, I'd give you the private tour.
Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo.
Mr. Wayne, you've got something on your collar.
Oh.
Is that blood?
No, it's not blood. It's cherry Kool-Aid. Alfred was making me cherry Kool-Aid.
Actually, it's lipstick.
Well, no wonder you were late. Say no more.
Harvey's just totally cool with this. All right, that's fine.
Another guest has arrived. I'm sure they'll find the bar. You may want to greet this one personally, sir.
Carmine Falcone? Is the Dent campaign soliciting votes from Gotham's biggest crime family?
Falcone's never
Good
been
old
convicted of
Falcone.
anything,
Yeah,
except
this
being
is
a
a
businessman who loves
this is an example of kind of
Excuse us,
Harvey
Mr.
Dent kind of maybe making the wrong call early on, not being quite the greatest guy in the world here because he wants Carmine Falcone's support. And Falcone, if you don't know much about the comics or anything, he's a major crime boss. He runs a big criminal syndicate in Gotham, and he's not a great guy. Not a great guy. But he's got power. He's got influence. So Harvey's like, yeah, I need him on my side. That's fine. However, inviting him here, probably not a good idea. You know, just pointing that out there, Harv.
Word of warning, Bruce. Play nice.
I'd like to say that I'm gonna try to play nice with Falcone, but you know.
Sky-high ceilings, plenty of room for my cars. I think I'll take it.
Gotta say though, the voice they got for Carmine Falcone, so good. I love the character design too and everything. The voice is I believe it's Richard McGonigal. I think that's his name. He was the guy who was Sully in the Uncharted series. So very good voice. Very fitting for like a kind of a stereotypical Italian mobster type guy. Not to say that Falcone's stereotypical or anything, but you know. So this game, a huge focus on it is the public's perception of Bruce Wayne and Batman. So, as you can tell, everybody, including reporter Vicky Vale, is looking at you as Carmine Falcone is holding his hands out. So, yeah, you might want to think really hard about shaking his hand before you do that.
You should know, Mr. Falcone. My analysts say we're raising triple what Mayor Hill had... Hey, what's...
Private audience.
Come on, guys. Bruce.
You'll be fine out there.
I love how Harvey
Some
is
plenty of skirts to keep
he's
busy for a few minutes.
he's dipping his hands in some bad things here, you know, with the Falcone situation, but he's still doing the like political speak with him. He's all like, yeah, you know, my analysts show that we're raising 3 times as much, and you know, we're gonna be great for Gotham and all that stuff. You know, he's trying to give this known mob boss this big spiel, trying to be like, yeah, you know, he's trying to win him over the way that that an honest politician would win anybody over. But you know, I don't think Falcone's into honest politicians. You know, I think he's into people willing to do his dirty work. You know, people wanting to play along. And we'll hear more of Falcone's motivations here in just a second.
Instead of just saying he will. The man talks too much, chaps my face with words.
Well, I would say you can uphold the law and still do what's right.
To a point. No one gets remembered for staying in the middle.
He does have a point.
Mr. Falcone,
No more warnings. I ain't here to chinwag about politics, Mr. Wayne. Gives me indigestion. I got enough of that as is.
Some very good lines in this. You know, it's really cool when they inject some humor into this.
Chalk this for me. Be a pal.
Nah, you go ahead.
Whatever happened to being a gracious host?
Whatever happened to, you know, making an honest living and, you know, not being a criminal.
These are all my friends in Gotham. The businesses, restaurants, clubs, docks, unions, politicians. I make them all move. And I want to keep everything moving if Harvey gets elected. That's why I came here tonight to your lovely home, hoping to make a new friend.
You know, I like how we're setting up Carmine Falcone as kind of like the big bad of the series, at least early on, because we get the idea that he's got this immense influence over all these businesses and everything, and as we find out later, you know, anytime he gets dragged off to prison, he kind of just gets away the next day. So he's a bit of a threat, and gonna need to get a lot of evidence in order to take this guy down.
You listen to me, kid. I know somewhere inside that tuxedo you understand this situation. Money gets money. The risks, the alliances, the hidden costs. Your father knew which hands to shake.
Touchy subject there, Carmine.
Don't you dare talk about my father.
You're getting worked up over nothing. Hell, I knew him longer than you did. People don't say no to me. Not for long.
Master Bruce, your guests are leaving.
Thank you for the save, Alfred. Appreciate it.
You wouldn't want to be rude.
Heed your butler's advice, kid. Oh, and I'm no longer interested in buying the house. The owner's a prick. And he's gonna get what's coming to him.
See, you think that, but, it is you who's gonna get what's coming to him. Love that logo with all the buildings and stuff. Cool font, too. And the music! Oh, music, again. So cool. And now a loading screen, oh boy. So this game, oh man, I'm so excited. So excited to keep going with this. Zach Keller and Chris Huckabout. Ooh. Kent Muddle. Okay, I'm not just gonna read all these names now. And here we are, going into the fabled location where Batman operates from. The good old Bat Cave. A pretty red car. All that red tech. It's red because I made it red. Episode 1. Realm of Shadows. So cool. I love how they do the title cards for these episodes. I also really love a lot of the episode names. Freaking Realm of Shadows is a really cool name. Unfortunate that it doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of a cool title. I like it. I sure like it, though. It's fine by me. Darkness. No parents. Oh, I only laughed because if I didn't, I would cry. That's Jack Ryder, better known as the Creeper in some iterations. Interestingly, he never really becomes the Creeper in any other media. He's just kind of Jack Ryder. So here now we can do a lot of things. We can actually read some news reports and see some things on Bruce Wayne's Codex. So if you don't mind, I'm going to start reading some of that. D.A. Dent pressures mayor to decry vigilantes by Wilson Yee. Let's get into this news article here. Let's see. Gotham District Attorney Harvey Dent calls upon the mayor's office to take a public stand against the wave of vigilante actions sweeping the streets. Mayor Hill cannot expect the DA's office to prosecute cases on any criteria other than the law, said Dent at a City Hall press conference. Dent has taken a firm stand against vigilantism in Gotham, from the uptick in citizen-led shootings to the costume superhero Batman. Dent is currently enjoying a surge in popularity, with one of the lowest criminal backlog indexes in the state. His groundbreaking Victims Assistance Program was part of the platform that drove his most recent successful bid for re-election, since becoming Gotham's youngest district attorney at age 26. Very impressive, Harvey. I'm surprised we don't actually hear about the Victims Assistance Program anywhere in this game. You would think there'd be a little bit more, kind of depth with what's going on with that. But, it's whatever. It's whatever. Anyway, let's see. Let's go ahead with the next one. Police Lieutenant tapped to lead task force by James Hagopian. Gotham City Police Commissioner Peter Grogan appointed Lieutenant James Gordon to lead a major task force after criminal chatter in the Gotham underworld recently increased to an alarming degree. In a press conference earlier today, Lieutenant Gordon insisted that we are aware of nefarious elements appearing and mobilizing en masse at our city. At present, they are unknown, but not unnoticed. We will find them. Wonder if that's foreshadowing. Gordon earned an honorable discharge from the USMC before joining the GCPD and has quickly risen through the ranks. He has frequently stated that the Marine Corps made him the man he is today. Interesting. I wonder if that's ever been a background for Jim Gordon in anything before. Wayne Enterprises funds Arkham Asylum Replacement by Thomas Adaw. I believe all the names are developers, actually. The charitable arm of Wayne Enterprises, headed by Robert and Regina Zellerbach, has announced funding for a new mental health care facility to replace the outdated Arkham Asylum. For years, the asylum has made headlines for its inhumane approach to patient treatment and its violent, oftentimes deadly, prisoner escapes. But soon that will no longer be the case. The Thomas and Martha Wayne Memorial Hospital, as it will be called, will offer a mixture of maximum security confinement with modern mental health care practices to truly heal those who are suffering. Ambitious plans are already underway to transfer current Arkham inmates as soon as construction completes and implement a critical program of rehabilitation and release. That sounds maybe a little too good to be true, but that might just be me. Let's check the codex here. Some cool bios on some characters going on in this game. Let's see the first one. Thomas and Martha Wayne, deceased, founders of Wayne Enterprises. My parents. Dad was a physician, Mom was a philanthropist. They worked tirelessly to help the less fortunate, setting up numerous charities and expending their vast resources to improve this city and its citizens. Murdered in an attempted robbery by a man known as Joe Chill, who is deceased, interestingly. So yeah, all these are written from Bruce's point of view. Pretty cool. Alfred Pennyworth, Wayne family butler. Faithful, patient, ever helpful Alfred. He's been a part of my family, a part of the family my whole life. He raised me when my parents were murdered and guided me when I thought I was lost. He's my butler, my confidant, and the most secret weapon in my arsenal. He complains frequently about my nightly activities, but he's still there to patch me up when I need it. Aw, good Alfred. And next one, Harvey Dent, Gotham City District Attorney and mayoral candidate. A new friend and the best district attorney Gotham has seen in years. His political ambitions have always been as big as his ego, and now he's hoping to become mayor. He's got so many great ideas for how to save this city. I think he'll be good for Gotham, but I have to steer him down the right path to get there. He's too easily swayed by anyone with power, regardless of their murky morality. Very interesting take. I'm surprised they don't go any further with that in this game. Hamilton Hill, mayor of Gotham City. Exhibit A in what's wrong with this city. Hill should have been thrown out of office years ago, but he's got his hands wrapped around Gotham's government in a death grip. He's been suspected of numerous crimes, but there's never been enough to make any of it stick. He's rotten to the core, and one day this city will realize it. Harvey's out there doing his best, and hopefully this upcoming election will be the end of Hill's corrupt administration. Cat burglar. Crimes, burglary, and petty larceny. New criminal on the scene, tied to several recent break-ins. She's effective and doesn't leave many clues behind. Currently, the GCPD has no leads. I wish I knew more about her. Oswald, the Penguin. He was a childhood friend, but he's almost a stranger to me now. Just like me, his family fell apart here in Gotham. He went off to boarding school in England, and there our paths diverged. He seems to have fallen into a life of crime. The last 2 decades gave him a lengthy rap sheet and a strange nickname, the Penguin. What happened to you, Oz? This is a very interesting character. We saw him for a split second at the party, and we're going to be seeing a little bit more of him as this game goes on. James Gordon, Lieutenant. Associates, Barbara Gordon, daughter. Oh, so she's existing here. Cool. He's a good by-the-book cop in a department that doesn't trust Batman. He was recently tapped to lead the Major Crimes Task Force, an impressive promotion, so he's doing something right. I think he could be a trustworthy and reliable source of info, but I'll need to cultivate that relationship. He's a family man, so he's not willing to take necessary risks on the street. That's fine. I'll take the risks, because I'm Batman, and I can. Yeah! Vicky Vale, journalist at the Gotham Gazette. One of the Gazette's most ambitious and competent reporters. I've read her stuff. Some of it can be a bit tabloid, but her passion for the truth is undeniable. She's been with the paper for a while, covered all kinds of beats. Someone with that kind of access... someone like that has the kind of access others would kill for. She might even hear more about what's going on in Gotham than I do. One day I may need to find out what she knows. Carmine Falcone, Skyline Club owner, head of Falcone crime family. The worst kind of gangster, one who tries to mingle with high society. He seems to have his hands in everything, including smuggling, real estate, bribery, and fraud. I could haul him into jail, but he'd walk the next day. I could shut down his operation, but 2 more would pop up in its place. His empire is vast and multi-layered. Finding hard admissible evidence is required for a conviction. Gotham City, population 10 million. The city is like a living creature. It's always growing outward and upward. The people who live here are survivors, and they have to be, and they deserve better than the corruption that infests this place. Arkham Asylum, established November of 1921. Gotham City's only maximum security psychiatric hospital, for now. Outdated in every way, building is falling apart, equipment is antiquated, and the staff's methodology leaves much to be desired. When the Thomas and Martha Wayne Memorial Hospital opens, these patients will finally get the treatment they need. Hopefully. We'll see. I mean, this is a Batman story, so, you know. Wayne Enterprises, established 1870, multinational corporation founded by my ancestors, covering all manner of manufacturing and finance. I inherited a majority stake from my father, but I'm not involved in the day-to-day operations. However, the R&D resources have been helpful in pursuing my private interests. Now, I'm taking the opportunity to read some of these codex entries and all the news reports just because I know there are a lot of playthroughs that don't really take the time to go through that, and it's really cool because there's a lot of fun world building, and you can kind of really see the consequences of some of your choices. Now, there's a time, and we'll get into that in another episode, where something seems to be bugged, and there's some cases later on that we'll see where like a choice is mentioned as us having done the other thing that we didn't do, and that happens a couple of times in this, and you know, it's whatever. Thankfully, it's not huge; it doesn't totally ruin the experience or anything. But yeah, I really like the Batcave in this. It's really cool. It's kind of simple. You know, there's no giant penny or dinosaur thing in here yet. I really hope we get that in the sequel. I know we're not likely to in this realistic Batman world, but I think that would be outstanding. Also, the Batmobile, really cool. There's kind of a fun twist with what we do with the Batmobile later on, which I won't spoil, but it's really cool. I just really like the design of this car too. It's pretty neat.
Oh, that's the stuff.
Of course, Bruce Wayne would be a car guy. Why else would he drive that around? I don't know about you, but it's kind of weird to see Bruce Wayne just in a suit and tie wandering the Batcave. I always expect to see him, you know, in the bat suit just with his cowl off, you know. Gadgets.
The newest edition.
We haven't had to use that yet. I wonder if we will use that in this episode later, potentially.
Deliver a jolt or knock out electricity in the area. I suppose that Catwoman would have preferred the latter.
I love how there's we mentioned in the codex and stuff that she's being called Catwoman, but it's really funny because we get like 5 different origins for people calling her Catwoman. Because in like the news reports, it's like the police are dubbing her Catwoman. Bruce is all like, "Oh, she's some sort of a cat woman," and then Alfred's like, "Oh, this Catwoman is a very interesting character." So yeah, we get a bunch of so 3 times translates to like 5 to me apparently because I said 5 earlier. But I think that's kind of funny that we get like multiple people coming to the conclusion that we should call her Catwoman. I mean, it makes sense, you know. She kind of got the ear. Well, it's weird because she's not really totally cat themed, and she seems to later on call herself Catwoman or like be doing it on purpose as a cat motif. But you know, the ears don't necessarily, you know, hint cat very much. She doesn't do anything very cat-like, you know. But whatever, you know, it's kind of just a given. So now to do science.
Wayne Manor has
Sciencey things here.
2 kitchens, a library, a gymnasium, a basketball court, and a movie theater. And yet I always find you here.
That might be my favorite line in this whole series. I love that. It's so cool.
The computer.
And it says a lot about Alfred too, you know, because there's a lot of talk about it later on too. But you know, most versions of Alfred, this one not excluded, is very Alfred's usually very concerned for Bruce, and doesn't always wish, you know, the life of being Batman on him, but kind of understands why he's doing it and helps him anyway. But you know, there's a lot of great conversations with Alfred later on, that are very, very interesting, very enjoyable. It's always nice to get those kind of human moments in games like this. I like that this is a game that's not afraid to take its time, you know, with some things, you know. And when we do get to the action stuff, it's, you know, it's very fast paced. But you know, there's some moments where Batman's doing some investigation, or Bruce Wayne's talking with Alfred or some other characters, and some of those exchanges tend to wind up being some of my favorite.
Meantime, I saved you what I could.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah, the same couldn't be said for the bar. I had to literally pry Mrs. Zellerback away.
Why couldn't we see that scene?
Everyone has left, including Mr. Falcone.
Well, I doubt Bruce Wayne would have, you know, gone down here if he thought people were still here. Another cool shot showing the bat mask in the corner there.
Anything to do with Falcone. Well,
Can you say the cinematography is good in a video game? Is that is that the right term? Cinematography? 'Cause that's used for like film and TV and stuff, but yeah, it's the same type of thing, you know, like the framing of the action and stuff. You know, I guess cinematography works. Yeah.
Like this Catwoman aren't helping.
Yep, another someone calling her Catwoman randomly.
I've seen her before. Hopefully, she's just a tourist.
And something that's really cool about this is very much early years Batman. We don't really get a sense of how long he has been operating, but we definitely get an idea that he hasn't really faced any super criminals yet. And so this is the first time he's dealing with Catwoman. First time he deals with a couple of other characters that we see later on.
As Bruce or Batman.
I don't like being compared to a common criminal.
No, I think you're missing the point. You have to admit you've been drawing a lot of attention to yourself.
These exchanges are just so good.
Playboy billionaire buys new yacht kind of attention. Now, I don't mean to beat a dead argument, but
No one's gonna figure it out now. Trust me.
And the fact that I'm saying that is probably going to foreshadow the fact that somebody is going to figure it out.
The mayor's office. It would undo all the long nights and close calls we've endured to get here. You're in the spotlight more than ever. You have to be careful.
It's alright, Alfred. I got this. I mean, I'm Batman. What can go wrong? Everything is always hunky-dory in the world of Batman. Don't you know that?
Old men worry, that's all. It's our gift and our curse. One more worry for the list.
So finally gonna get some more information on this guy that we saw.
We were in grade school.
Indeed, you two were thick as thieves. Oswald, however, took that role more literally than you.
Oswald. Oswald Cobblepot.
Charge illegal boxing
The
matches,
Penguin.
arms dealing, prison stints.
That's a criminal grand slam, if I'm using the expression correctly.
Unfortunately, you are.
Now this is really cool for a number of reasons, because they so radically changed the Penguin in this, but you know what? It's kind of for the better. I think this is one of the most compelling portrayals of the Penguin ever, and it's weird because it's so different and yet so similar to what it is in the comic books, and that's why I love so much about it. Because Oz is a character, he's a lot more theatrical. I remember a lot of people speculating early on. He's like, oh, he might actually become the Joker in this universe or something, and that would have been a little dumb, but I could see it because he definitely had that kind of charm, and we'll be seeing that later. He's got elements of like Hush and Two-Face's origins, kind of, with being childhood friends with Bruce Wayne, which is interesting because usually in the comics there's that whole thing where like the Waynes and the Cobblepots were kind of the two big rich families of Gotham, and that Penguin always blames Bruce's family for ruining his and all that. And we may get a touch of that or something, at some point. But it's still kind of cool to think that they were best friends when they were young. Kind of a neat take. Also, he's not short and fat, so it's a very, very radical change.
Where are you, Oz?
This is a bit of a sad thing here because we get that Bruce Wayne is meeting Oz at Cobblepot Park, which is now kind of a run-down place where homeless people come, and there's a lot of graffiti everywhere. Things are kind of destroyed and all that, and a lot of bad criminals, bad dudes hanging out over here. So.
Thank is there?
Kind of sucks. It's just sad, you know, and we get Oz when we finally see him. He starts talking about, you know, how bad he feels about his family, having lost this place and stuff, you know, because this was kind of the last remaining memory he had of them, you know. And,
Great.
yeah.
There's the statue.
I also really like that statue, which is, I think it's supposed to be Oswald's dad. Maybe like a grandfather or a great grandfather or something. But I think it's kind of cool that we get that statue of you know, an ancestor of Oz, and he looks the statue looks very much comic book Penguin kinda in a way, minus the mutton chops, but you know.
It isn't what it used
And unfortunately, they don't let you stop long enough to be able to actually read what that says. So, oh boy. Well, let's just how about we just take a look at that statue there now? I think we've seen enough. We don't need to see a lot of that graffiti. And by the way, for clarification, I did mention this earlier, but I am doing post commentary for this. I'm not recording my commentary live with this, because I know you can see some of the stuff with the video was skipping and being a little bit weird early because I mentioned that I was streaming it. So I was streaming the gameplay in order to get this footage for this Let's Play. So yeah, so I am recording the commentary after the fact. This guy, I don't know why, but this guy reminds me so much of like the mutants from The Dark Knight Returns. I keep expecting him to be like saying like Shiv and like weird things like they said in that. Also, here's Oz. Oh no.
This used to be a nice place. No lives like you don't belong.
Ooh.
This is my park. Mine. You hear that?
Oh, hey Bruce. You've got a little hair. Good as new.
Yet another great introduction for a character.
Nothing kickstarts the system like a dash of adrenaline, eh? Besides, someone needed to deal with the rubber situation here.
Well, thanks for the backup.
I yanked you away from your bloody ivory tower, Bruce. Least I can do is make sure you don't get shaped.
Oh, that's very thoughtful of you.
It's been what? 2 decades?
And you know what? I haven't been mugged once that entire time.
That wasn't why I brought you here, mate.
Man, I like the dynamic between these two, especially early on, because we do get the sense that, you know, even though Oz might be pretending, I don't think he is in this moment, because there's that genuine connection between friends, and it seems like, you know, Oswald doesn't totally want to do what he's going to do later to Bruce. We don't get any sense of regret later on from him. But there's a little bit of it here, you can kind of tell, where he kind of almost wants this friendship to work.
This city chews right through people. Mum committed to Arkham. Dad ended it yourself, you did. My family's fortune. There's nothing left, Bruce.
I know. Alfred told me.
It's funny, huh? Same place that ground my family to dust. Gave you the good life. Used to run in the same circles we do.
I like how we're giving Oswald more of a tragic backstory here, with like losing his parents and all that, because that was never a huge focus in the comics, I don't think, anyway.
My parents are gone too, Oz.
I know, Bruce. I know. I'm sorry for it.
You really get the sense that these two are very much, you know,
You haven't changed, Bruce.
very much opposite sides of the same coin type of thing, in that they very, very easily, you know, had they have made slightly different decisions, they could have been in each other's shoes, you know?
Made himself right at home. That oily. Wish I could have punched that grin into the back of his throat.
Falcone was an uninvited guest. That's it. Never want to see his face again.
On that, we can agree in earnest. Falcone made a stack of casual corpses a mile high, ruining families like mine. All he needs is a little push. And
That was another line that made a lot of people think he would be the Joker, just because it was similar to a line in The Dark Knight. So, didn't wind up happening. Kind of glad it didn't, because you know what we're doing with Oz here is really great.
a revolution is knocking on Gotham's door, and I'm here to let it in. Which brings me to you, Bruce. You see, you throw a rock in any direction, you break a window that Wayne Enterprises owns. As the rich and powerful go, oh, you top Gotham's list. But when my revolution starts, we're gonna smash windows and cross off names all the way down. Like I said, it's not gonna be pretty. It's gonna be beautiful. And I can't wait to get started.
Are you threatening me, Oz?
Take it easy, Lloyd. I've got great affection for you, Bruce. I really do. Which is why I'm warning you. When this whole thing starts, make sure you're on the right side. Good seeing you, Bruce, but I got some rocks to collect. Cheers.
You know, I remember that short little snippet where he says, you know, when this whole thing starts, make sure you're on the right side. I remember that being in an early trailer for this game, or I think it was actually probably the launch trailer that came out like the day or two before, or like the week before. I don't remember. Anyway, came out sometime before the first episode of this launched, and I remember, you know, people were wondering, well, who is that guy? And practically nobody guessed it was the Penguin. So when, you know, Oswald shows up in this story, I was very, very surprised. You know, I believe we knew about Falcone and Harvey Dent, but we didn't know about Penguin, and that was kind of a cool thing. Pretty kick-ass red car there.
Mr. Wayne, over here, right here.
This way.
Bruce!
Good morning, everyone.
Again, I don't know why you would pick some of the other options unless you were like purposefully doing a run of this game where you just wanted to be a dick to everybody.
Charm. We didn't bring you all out here to discuss cars, honestly.
Really? Oh shoot, I'm gonna leave then.
Here about Arkham Asylum.
Boo.
Ever since it opened its doors, Arkham has been a breeding ground for the criminally insane.
And yet, no one else has done anything about it yet.
Crude. Its security went in. Arkham Asylum is a cancer on Gotham. But today, with a sizable contribution from this man here, we break ground on a state-of-the-art mental health care facility. One that will improve the well-being of Gotham and its citizens for years to come. And Mr. Wayne has a few words he'd like to say. Bruce?
My parents loved Gotham. They invested their blood, sweat, and tears in this city. You know, when I was 9 years old, my parents took me to see a movie about a hero in a mask. It was a hero who stood up to oppression and defended the people from injustice, no matter the cost.
You know, Bruce, you might as well just come out and say I'm Batman when you're saying that. Really surprised nobody connected the dots with that little speech there.
Needed the kind of help this new facility will provide. My parents were heroes that night, and we can all learn from their sacrifice.
Really sorry if you heard that plane that's going overhead. Kind of loud from where I'm at, but yeah. Hopefully that didn't pick up on my microphone. Really hoping.
Martha Wayne, and usher in a new era of healing for Gotham.
Woo. Healing.
I'm sure you all have plenty of questions about the new hospital, so let's open it up.
And by plenty of questions about the new hospital, I mean that one question will be about the hospital, and every other question will be about something else.
What happens to the old building?
I think Arkham has only done harm to Gotham. It's made criminals more unstable, put our citizens in jeopardy. We can do better. All right, who's up next? You there.
Mr. Wayne, Julia Remark of the Tribune. My sources say you welcomed alleged mob boss Carmine Falcone into your home. You and Mr. Dent even spoke with him behind closed doors.
Well, you see about that,
He was an
well, yeah.
That's all. Next question, please.
Please keep your questions on topic, people. We're here about the hospital, remember?
But Mr. Wayne, this morning the Globe received evidence of an offshore bank account managed by Carmine Falcone and your father, Thomas Wayne.
What exactly are you implying?
Transactions connected to organized crime going back years and continuing to this day. The paper trail ties your family directly to the mob. Care to comment?
This guy's being a big prick.
How dare you? I just finished telling you about my parents' murder, and you accuse them of being, what, criminals?
Exactly. I would be utterly livid at these people. Especially now, you know?
How long has your family been dealing with Falcone?
I would, you know what? In Bruce's situation, I would probably scream and, like, throw one of those microphones and just kind of walk away.
My parents were entrepreneurs, philanthropists, not common criminals. It's absurd.
Mr. Wayne! Mr. Wayne!
How long has your family been dealing with Falcone?
Could the allegations be true? Did you know about this, Bruce?
What aren't you telling us?
I'm sorry about this, Bruce. I don't know where the hell it's coming from. Damage control's my territory. We'll talk later.
Yeah, Harvey, because I'm sure you'll do a good job of telling the people that my family had nothing to do with the mob.
Bruce, I've been trying to reach you. The police are inside the manor.
Oh, that is not good. All these accusations, man, where are they coming from? Somebody is trying to ruin Bruce Wayne, and doing it through his family. Not cool, not cool. Don't tarnish the reputation of a good man like Thomas Wayne. He did nothing wrong, I'm sure.
Says who?
This warrant. It's not personal. I had the boys turn the lights off, keep a low profile.
Well, thank you, Gordon. Kind of.
That's what we're here to find out. Maybe we made a mistake. Maybe you did.
Alfred, keep an eye on them. Make sure they only take what they have to.
Yeah. Although, not that Alfred could really stop them, I don't think.
What I said about not personal. We only want files related to Wayne Enterprises. The warrant covers your place, pardon me, places of residence, and any companies you own.
And what do you expect to find?
Does Bruce Wayne own any other house
The precinct to figure out.
in this game? Because we only ever see Wayne Manor.
It's a valid warrant. I gotta serve it.
Yeah, alright.
Signed off on this himself.
Oh, okay, I see where this is going.
Well, Hill has a history of making his opposition disappear.
Rumors and allegations, Mr. Wayne, that's all. But if they become fact, I'll handcuff him myself, same as any other crook. I don't know how your neck ended up on Mayor Hill's shopping block, but here we are.
Hill knows if I go down, Harvey's campaign goes down too.
That'd be a
Yeah.
real shame. Mr. Dent's the only DA I ever trusted to make a conviction stick.
People behind this clearly do not want Harvey to be in office.
For all our sakes, I pray you've got nothing to hide.
I mean, except for the fact that, you know, I'm Batman, but, you know, other than that. Who broke something? Oh no, please don't. Oh, it's gonna be my parents. That's gonna be mommy and daddy. And I'm gonna have a Vietnam flashback. And it's gonna be a bad day. And it's gonna be all because some horrible person just dropped it and didn't care. Oh, yep, there it is. There they are. Oh boy. Oh no. I'm hearing voices. Oh no. Now I'm in the realm of shadows. Oh, hey, that's how the title ties into this. You know, I really like this imagery too, because usually we focus on, you know, the pearls, but this image in particular of like the movie tickets and the blood going towards 2 of the movie tickets, kind of symbolizing his parents die and he's okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Kind of deep, and I like that we didn't resort to, you know, relying on the pearls thing again.
It's not a problem, really.
Also, how did you get in?
First the mayor's office, now Wayne Manor. Gotham continues its streak of break-ins.
I mean,
for the record, huh?
you considering you just kind of were here, I'm sure you probably saw the police leaving. Either that, or I just was spending like 2 hours just sitting there staring at that photo, and I didn't realize 2 hours had passed. So either way is possible, I think.
I can dig up whatever you need to fight this.
What's your angle?
Not all reporters just want a headline. Some of us are old-fashioned. I still want the truth. The Gazette received this
A little too good to be true, but, you know,
like
why not go with it?
And it's all hearsay. Flimsy sources. There isn't a shred of hard proof.
Still, allegations like this, they don't magically appear. Someone is going after my family, after me.
Obviously, the sender didn't identify.
And that is definitely no bueno.
No idea who it could be. I mean, no one's even done their due diligence on this yet. The press saw the fumble, they grabbed the ball and ran.
Hill wants me out of the picture because with
It's all fake news, guys, okay? You know what? It's just fake news, you know? Just don't buy into that.
You're a kingmaker, Mr. Wayne. And Harvey Dent is Gotham's knight in shining armor just waiting for the crown.
Yet another really good line. Man. The writers of this series, really good job.
Everyone will be talking about it.
This isn't my first pass through the rumor mill. I know the damage you can do.
Yeah, but Bruce, this is probably your like biggest thing, rumor thing that you have to deal with. So.
Your side is what matters, not wild speculation.
Yeah, sure.
On the record then.
Whenever you're ready.
I love how you get the silence option. So you'd be like, yeah, you know what? I'll give you a quote. Okay, whenever you're ready.
They will get what they deserve.
Nothing.
Understood.
Nope.
That's exactly what the people of Gotham need to hear.
I want to know what the... Oh, man, I should look up what the dialogue is like from her after that, because I'm sure that's funny. That's got to be funny.
Goodbye, Miss Vale.
I like how you can do that. That's kind of funny. I wonder if it then switches your choice over to saying that you refused a quote.
I hate to admit it, but everyone smells smoke. A fire is heading this way.
Batman has made plenty of enemies, but my family. We've done nothing but support Gotham, even in its darkest days.
All this on the
And darkest nights.
It's not a coincidence.
Although, you are the darkest of the nights, Batman.
Then find out why he didn't.
Ooh. Yet another interesting setup. Cafe Triste? Maybe? I don't know. I don't think we ever even come back to this location. I think this is the only time we ever see this cafe.
Warrant? What the hell's going on? Wait, does this have to do with what the reporters were talking about this morning?
You tell me.
Shh, come on, keep it down. Let's avoid making another scene, shall we? Press is already up my ass as it is.
Mayor Hill authorized this?
Yeah, then the cops raid my house, taking everything related to Wayne Enterprises. Computers, hard drives, files.
I love how much the Bruce Wayne side is being focused on in this story.
I swear. Hill totally blinds.
You know, I know nothing about how, you know, district attorneys and stuff. You know, I have nothing. I don't know specifically what a district attorney does, but I'm guessing based on what they're implying there that that Harvey is supposed to, you know, approve warrants and stuff like that. I don't know. Is that a thing that someone's district attorney does? Do they hand out warrants, approve them, things like that? I don't know. Because they imply that Harvey should have known about this. So I just don't know how the legal system works. I don't know anything. So please, if you are aware, enlighten me in the comment section below.
Hill would be able to spin it as a conflict of interest. And that wouldn't be good for either of us. It would jeopardize the entire campaign.
You should probably distance yourself from me.
What? No, I can't do that.
Well, you may have to.
Don't say that. You...
There you are.
Hey, you.
Sorry.
Yeah, hey, you.
No, just glad you made it.
You didn't tell me you were bringing
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
This is Selena.
I
Oh.
hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Just election nonsense.
Do I want to be clever or no?
I think we've met before.
Guess I do.
You do look familiar.
Everyone knows who Bruce Wayne is.
Do they?
Pleasure to meet you, Miss...
Kyle.
Clever way of getting her full name.
It's a strong grip you've got there. Don't worry. I'm not gonna fall.
Okay, this is so they know.
I've been showing her around Gotham, introducing her to people.
You're an excellent tour guide, Harv.
Well,
Oh my god, this scene is so intense. It's so crazy. First time I played through it, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe they know who they are. That's insane.
let's just hope she stays after what happened last night.
I was mugged.
Oh, really?
I'm just angry I let that masked freak get away with all my stuff.
Oh,
I still can't believe I let you walk home alone. I should have called you a car.
Well, I sure hope whatever he took wasn't too valuable.
See, okay, that's something that I wonder about Harvey, because he was kind of flirting with Vicky at the fundraiser. Kinda, a little bit. But he says, he's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry I let you walk home alone last night. So clearly he already was with Selena. So, you know, I think Harvey's playing the field a little too. That's, not okay.
You should just be thankful you got away with a black eye.
So, what do you do for a living?
It's complicated. High risk, high reward.
You know, Harvey should be incredibly suspicious of this girl.
Something like that.
Doing this and saying some weird things here.
That press conference? Oof.
I mean, you'd think that, you know, the guy who's running for mayor, you know, who he's dating, he probably should know more about what she does and who she is, you know. That kind of thing.
Excuse me a moment. Hey,
Harvey, don't leave us alone. Harvey, don't. I don't like this. Girls are scary. Oh no. Oh no. She's looking at me. What do I say? Do I talk to her? Is she gonna talk to me? I don't know. I don't know how this works. Is this a date? I don't know.
Nice to meet the real you.
Likewise.
Oh man, this is so interesting. This is so cool.
This explains a lot, actually. How you can afford the fancy armor.
Oh, when this happened when I was first playing this, I was like, oh man, where is this gonna go? Where is this gonna go?
Not to mention, everyone in this cafe.
Please don't tell.
What do you want with Harvey?
Don't worry about your friend. My interest in him is personal.
Sure. Okay.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna expose you. Yet. I'm curious about something, though. I do what I do for money, but you're Bruce Wayne. What's your excuse? I have to.
For justice.
Why take the risk?
Someone has to be the good guy.
I suppose you think that makes me a bad girl.
Well, aren't you?
You have something that belongs to me. I want it back.
I'm okay.
It's awkward for me.
I'm used to robbing people, not the one being robbed.
As I recall, you took something from me, too. Hope you're getting some use out of that grappling gun.
I'm more interested in how I can use you.
Oh, hoo, 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 hoo.
I'm working for, they don't screw
There's
around.
some double entendre stuff going on here. I don't know if I'm into it yet or not. Oh boy.
Looks like you've made your bed.
No, we've made this bed, and I'm not gonna lie in it alone.
I mean, if you'd want company in there, I
They
mean,
don't
sure.
get what they want.
Oh, you don't mean a real one. You mean, oh, okay, never mind. A metaphorical one. Oh, okay. I mean, that's cool too.
All right, you want my help? You got it. What can I do?
You can give me back the drive.
Nope.
Not possible.
Listen, I don't have a lot of time. My employer is expecting me to drop it off.
Where?
Just give it back.
The address. Now.
No, give me the drive.
Selena, please, give me the address.
Oh, he says please when he wants to. Okay, Bruce.
Catwoman has some of the best dialogue in this.
My contact. He'll be expecting a cat, not a bat.
When are you supposed to meet him?
15 minutes ago.
Oh, that's a problem.
Everything okay here?
You tell me.
I have my people working on it. We're gonna straighten everything out.
I feel better already. Sorry, but I've got to run.
So soon? Aren't you gonna stay for a drink?
Yeah, Bruce. Stay for a drink?
I'd love to, but I've got another appointment and I really don't want to be late for it.
Oh, all right then. Don't forget to change into your suit.
Why is Harvey not like, Selena, what the heck did you mean by that? Because, like, I know she meant the Batman suit, but, like, he's wearing a suit. I don't know. Whatever. I feel like Bruce is meant to wear casual wear in this scene or something when this was written, and then they just put him in a business suit and they thought, well, you know, whatever, it's okay.
Alfred,
Oh, great shot. I always love Batman Against the Moon and stuff like that.
It's quiet.
So cool.
The sound of an ambush. Stay on guard.
Well, it sure has been a while since we've been the Bat, but here we are. Oh, some things have gone down here.
This wasn't a handoff. It was a massacre.
How many?
I'd have to count the pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord. Who could have done such a thing?
That's what I'm gonna find out.
Gordon, Eastside Docks, Warehouse 133.
And so now we get one of the big mechanics in the game. Something I think anyway that we get at least one of these kinds of scenes per episode. I could be wrong. I might be misremembering, but I think every episode has a crime scene analysis type scene like this. It's really cool. It's really interesting the way they do it. It's kind of like an evolution of the kind that they do in Arkham Origins. Except in this case, you can link two pieces of evidence together to form the whole story. And in some cases, some cases you'll link things that seem to be related, and you'll find out, oh, there's not enough evidence to really determine that this is related or not. So you're gonna have to find other things, and you're gonna have to link different things as well. So a lot of that goes on. So there's some trial and error going on. So these sections I don't think are too terribly taxing or anything. So you should be able to make it through just fine, as long as you have a little bit of patience, willingness to kind of pay attention and kind of just look around and see what's up. And yeah, you should be able to solve the mystery of why the people went kaboom. You know, one thing I didn't highlight is I really like the lenses on Batman, that they glow white naturally. That was something that is that's like it's done like that in the cartoons a lot, but almost never in like any other media or anything. Like even in the Arkham games, he just has normal eyes poking out. But he does get the kind of the white lenses when he activates detective mode in those games. And with the movies, they never really did that until kind of the Dark Knight, where he had the sonar thing going on. And in Batman versus Superman, where when he had the armor, he did that. But never has like the main Batman suit always had this kind of function. And that's what I really like about this, is that he always gets that kind of classic white eyes look going on, and he can, and it's kind of cool because he can still emote with that pretty well enough. And I also think it's cool that when he does activate kind of this version of detective mode, the eyes change whatever color that you chose for your text. So if you chose yellow, it's going to be yellow. If you chose purple, it's going to be purple. If you chose red, like I did, it's going to be red. And if you chose blue, it'll be blue. Dabba dee dabba die.
Skylight Club.
Oh, that was Carmine Falcone's thing. You think these guys could be Carmine Falcone's thugs? Interesting. Oh boy.
Blood. Broken nails. Bits of human flesh.
Yeah, this is a pretty grisly murder scene, for the first episode. Now that I think about it, I think this might be like the most horrific looking crime scene that we stumble upon in this, especially because now we gotta. Yeah, alright. Batman's just cool with that. We're just gonna get the bullet out. Okay, that was a little.
Sensors say it's an incendiary round. Phosphorus residue. This could have superheated the contents of the canister,
causing the aforementioned boom.
But yeah, there's another crime scene that kind of comes to mind that is in episode 4. That is, it's kind of bad, but it's not like, people missing eyes, people burnt, body parts on the floor type of gruesome like this. So this is kind of as bad as it'll ever get. Something I really like about what they do with the Bat Tech here is that we have the like holograms play out what he is talking about, what he sees through the evidence, and like everything else with your Bat Tech, the color that it is determined by whatever the color was that you picked early on. So I'm going to see everything in red in this playthrough.
Don't think so. No proof.
Yeah, and that was another instance of me just screwing up and not doing that. So when you get a link that doesn't work, you just go to one of the links and you just hit break link, and then you can match it up with the other thing in the room that could possibly work, and then bingo, you should be good. This is definitely a game that you don't need walkthroughs for the investigations. Honestly, this the investigations I would say aren't even very complex. I would say this one and the one that I know of in the train depot in episode 3. That's not giving too much away, but those two are the ones that I think are the most kind of taxing. This one and that one. I don't remember what was the one in episode 2, if there even was one. And the one in 4 isn't even that challenging either, and 5 neither is 5's one.
Have you put it together?
Yes.
So yeah, so what's kind of cool is that when you're done, you kind of get this cutscene where Batman kind of explains to Alfred, everything that he's uncovered, kind of in order. So no matter what you do on the field when you're investigating and coming up with things, there's no specific order that you have to discover things in, because Batman will place them in the correct order at the very end, which is kind of cool.
One of his snipers hit a canister with an incendiary bullet, causing it to superheat and explode. This may have been a distraction or a way of destroying evidence. Cops moved in to stop the theft. Falcone's men gunned him down. Then things turn grim. Possibly due to the psychoactive nerve agent. A cop ripped up a merc's face with his bare hands.
Got some chemicals that make people go crazy.
Put down. Same sniper, same type of bullet. Looks like Falcone's men got what they wanted and escaped.
Have you located the shooter?
No, but based on 2 impact trajectories, the canister and the dead cop, the shooter could only have a clear shot from there.
You know, I remember when this first came out, and I saw some Let's Plays of this. I remember some people like instantly thought, "Oh, Deadshot's the shooter," just because it's a sniper. It has to be this universe's version of Deadshot, and I thought that was funny. Same thing with the psychoactive nerve agent that they mentioned, which we don't actually really get a grasp on what it does until later. So that'll be a bit of a mystery for this episode. But I remember a lot of people thought Scarecrow was going to be introduced as somebody who created the nerve agent and stuff. And you know, that made sense. That was a fair speculation point. But you know, spoilers. Obviously, Scarecrow does not show up in this. It's possible he could be in the second season of this. So yeah, maybe he'll show up. Nothing's been confirmed yet, but you know, I just thought it was funny because there were so many people who were expecting more villains to show up than actually did in this. And I thought it was really funny just because there was so much speculation on like, oh, this person's going to be this character, or this person's going to be that character, or that person's got to be this dude, you know? I just think it's funny, you know? And there were some cases where like, yeah, they probably could have made, you know, some of the other random characters that Batman fights other villains. But, you know, it's cool. It's not always necessary, and can be kind of contrived and a little bit weird if they did go that route. So I think it's more realistic that you have a couple of made up characters for this. So
You can't make me talk. I ain't telling you, Jack. You trying to scare a confession out of me?
Yeah.
Your bones will.
Oof. Yeah, you'd probably be crapping your pants at that point.
True what they said about
Especially now.
Time to live up to my reputation.
Oh. Man, I love that line.
Bleed to death without ever spilling a drop. All on the inside.
That's such a cool one too.
Tell me the plan, or I start swinging.
If you're gonna hit me, hit me.
This interrogation is really cool. You know, obviously you can choose to really hurt this guy, but I'd rather not be the worst Batman ever and significantly harm people if I don't have to. So, and it's not like that you get any more information if you are more brutal anyway, thus incentivizing you to be more brutal. So yeah, I don't know. The only reason to really beat anybody up is if you want to beat them up more than you need to. So interestingly, this guy says he works for Carmine Falcone, and that they were getting the chemicals for something.
I start here and keep breaking until you answer.
Ooh.
Chemicals! Some kind of explosive! A weapon! I don't know! Falcone said he'd use them soon!
Used where?
That's all I know! I swear! I told you everything I know! You're an animal!
I'm okay. You know, I know a lot of people went to break this guy's arm, just because they thought you had to in this moment, and you really don't.
Think I need to call the coroner instead.
And this is another interesting choice too, because if you do stay and talk to Gordon after you've broken this guy's arm and like really hurt him, then Gordon's all like, "Oh, you're going too far, Batman. I don't know if I can trust you anymore." So.
I told you he was about to kill me. What are you waiting for?
Falcone was behind this.
Falcone. I thought he'd been a little quiet lately.
Falcone stole a shipment of chemicals, a
appears to be a weaponized nerve agent. Causes people to go berserk, turn violent. We need to act before he releases it.
I got a task force on it.
You already have one.
Oh ho ho.
You're taking this too far, Bruce.
I'm sorry, what? I went too far, Alfred? You're saying that?
You assume the persona of a bat, but you're not an animal.
I didn't hurt the man.
And half to death.
No, I actually did not touch him. Yeah, that's, this is another thing where
And neither did I.
they kinda screwed up with, some of the choice type things, where they act like you really hurt this guy, but you didn't. So, yeah. And good news is it doesn't, like, you know, it's just this one conversation that gets affected. Like, the rest of the game, whenever this kind of thing comes up again, it's not acting like you did break this guy's rib cage and then his arm and everything. So yeah, it's weird. And this happens a couple times throughout where there's little things that are like, oh yeah, this thing happened. And then you're like, no, it didn't. But it's usually only ever like a one instance type thing. And I think there was a patch that was implemented at one point that fixed a lot of it. So yeah, not a huge deal.
I could never match that.
You won't.
Not totally breaking your immersion, but it still kind of sucks. I'm really hoping that the second season of this I really hope they focus on making sure that the choices remain your choices, you know.
That night, that alleyway, it made me who I am. I can't get it out of my head.
That is your gift and your curse.
Mm.
Being Batman can allow you to turn back the tide of treachery that's reached this city's shores, or drown you in its sorrow.
Yeah.
When you doubt your fate, remember why you started all this. Remember that boy.
You know what? I will never understand anybody who chose to tear up the tickets in this moment.
Neither will I.
I feel like Batman would never do that. And so now we're gonna get an opportunity to actually read some more. So let's get right into it with the news, shall we? Corruption rumors tarnish Wayne family legacy by Julia Martins. The Waynes have long been considered one of Gotham's most respected families, but new allegations have tied family patriarch Dr. Thomas Wayne and his wife Martha to the illegal business dealings of the Falcone crime family. If true, it's possible the Wayne family's staggering fortune, estimated to be in the billions, could be seized by authorities pending an investigation into their current business practices. That would be a blow to heir Bruce Wayne, who has continued his father's practice of using the money for philanthropy. However, Dr. Wayne met a violent end as the victim of a random street crime 2 decades ago. While there's been no comment on the allegations from Wayne, he did hold a private meeting with Falcone crime family head Carmine Falcone at the Wayne family's Gotham City mansion, which is only adding to the speculation. Batman tangles with masked crook atop City Hall by Connor Barton. A daring raid on the City Hall office of Mayor Hamilton Hill ended last night with a massive rooftop brawl between Batman and a masked cat burglar the police have dubbed Catwoman. The battle resulted in a heart-stopping plunge off the side of the building, which left Catwoman's fate unclear. However, her team of mercenaries were apprehended by authorities. Neither the GCPD nor representatives of the Hill administration have revealed what, if anything, was stolen from the mayor's office. Despite the outcome, many have begun to wonder if Batman let the burglar go free. "We can't outsource our safety to anonymous people in disguise," said Gotham Police Commissioner Peter Grogan. "You can never trust whose side they're really on." Cops do not like Batman right now. And let's check the updates to the Codex. I have Harvey looking into why Mayor Hill has seized my assets, but maybe I should be more concerned that his new friend, Selina Kyle, is the Catwoman. It turns out her real name is Selina Kyle, and she's friends with Harvey, but more troubling, she knows I'm Bruce Wayne. This will need to be dealt with soon. Thief for hire. Beyond that, I don't know much about her, not even who she's working for. I wish I did, because she's good at what she does. She caught me off guard during the break-in at the mayor's office. That was a mistake I won't let happen again, but I don't think she's a threat to be put down. Yet, I need to find out more about her. It turns out he's back in town looking to restore his family name, and he's targeting Carmine Falcone. Still not sure what his plan is, but it's going to be trouble. I was able to point Gordon at Falcone, saving him valuable time. Montoya may not completely trust me yet, but I'll let Gordon assure her. I gave her a quote to help defend my family's name via the media. That's the only way to get out in front of the scandal. Falcone's goons acquired an explosive chemical in a heist at the docks. After an interrogation, a suspect admitted that Falcone plans to use them soon. But how? Is it a weapon?
Well, looks like that egg finally cracked.
You know, I really like that the codex updates as we go along with the game. So we get a couple of new bios for characters as we come to learn more about them, and little additions as the story progresses. And it's cool that they highlight your choices, you know, same thing with the news articles and all that. So right now we have access to, finally, to the data drive that Catwoman stole from Hamilton Hill's safe at the mayor's office. And it appears to be a complete record of all of Carmine Falcone's illegal dealings. So we can do some good with this. We might want to hand it over to a reliable source, perhaps.
Finally knock out Falcone's organization.
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring down the big bad Falcone.
This is a police matter.
There's only one cop we can trust to handle this evidence correctly.
Lieutenant Gordon.
Yes,
He
indeed.
could mobilize the entire police force against Falcone.
What about that reporter from the Gazette?
Vicky.
I love. I'm sorry. Alfred's really the choice guy in this game, where he'll be like, "Well, you need to decide what to do with yourself. There's only one real option that you should do, and it's this thing. However, there is another thing that you could potentially do. Well, it's all up to you, Bruce. You need to make the call." And I think it's kind of ridiculous. It's really funny. It's I think the very last choice in episode 5 is very much like that, and it's kind of ridiculous to me. So I chose to go after Gordon and release the information to him just because, well, I want Gordon on my side more than I think I want Vicky Vale on my side, because she already seems to be on my side. You know, she's doing good. She got a quote from me. She's, you know, protecting my family. So yeah.
I haven't tried yet.
Oh ho ho ho. Loving the music build up. And again, another really great line. There's so many really genuinely cool lines of dialogue in this game. I just love it so much. So yeah, so I decided to go to my good friend Jimbo and to give him the data so I can be on his good side.
This is a silver
Bruce?
bullet.
Bruce, is your head okay? What,
I don't even want to know
Bruce?
where you got this.
Bruce,
Still, I gotta know why give this to me?
Bruce, I think you may have a problem with your head. It appears to be on backwards.
We've been looking for this kind of firepower for years.
I heard
You okay? Now it's you snapped it back around. Okay, I guess you really should be Owlman in this universe instead of Batman. Jeez, that was. Oh boy, yeah. Sometimes these Telltale games, you will encounter some glitches. I was very surprised. I had kind of a glitchy run with this game because there was not only that, but there was something that happens in the next episode that I was quite amazed by. So you will obviously you'll see that when that episode comes up. But oh boy. I really love Gordon's character in this, because even though you hand him over the evidence, and he's very appreciative of it, but he just wants to make sure, he's like, look, don't consider this a bribe. I'm not going to make the investigation into your family go any differently. So,
You and me both.
Gordon's a genuinely good guy. So, I really like his characterization, too. Bruce, your head is doing very weird things.
I gotta go. Came straight from a crime scene. Haven't been home yet.
Does your daughter need to see you? Is that what's going on? Because, you know, my codex says that she's a thing. You know, one day she's going to put on a bat costume just like me. And she's going to roam around with me. And then, oh, my head again. Okay. Alright, this is,
Thanks, Bruce.
Collar looks a little messed up there, too. Bruce, kind of ruining a touching moment here. Hey, Jim, do you know of any good, like, chiropractor I can go to? I think my spine's a little screwy.
It's done.
Oh, his name is Bane? Okay, yeah, I'll go to him. That's a good idea.
The drone's located Falcone downtown, a place called the Skyline Club.
Bruce, I would think you would have learned from when you were 9 years old to not walk down alleyways.
Chained in the car.
Oh, yeah. That car was the Batmobile. Oh, that was so cool. Yeah, when this was when I first saw that his normal car, his cool normal car, turned into the Batmobile, I was like, oh man, that's just freaking awesome. Also, I'm really curious if he has like a Mr. Incredible style suit up thing in that car. If you've ever seen the Incredibles, because there's a scene in that where he gets like his costume put onto him while he's in the car. I'm assuming that is what happens, but we don't see that. It would have been cool, you know, to actually see that happen, but... And here we are, gearing up for the finale of this episode. Gonna take down Carmine Falcone once and for all. Because now that Gordon has the evidence, we just need to take him down. I love that Batman has drones in this. It's kind of cool. Very surprised that, you know, no one in here notices this flying so close by, though. But, you know, whatever. So something really cool about this next part of the game. And we're going to see in a bit, after Batman analyzes all these people, is that you can use your kind of, your detective vision thing to plan out fight scenes and how you're going to attack. And it's really cool because it's a really cool gameplay feature, I think, and you use it throughout the game, and it's awesome, and it would be really cool if it comes back in the second season, which I think it will. I'm sure it will. But what I always liked about it was that it gave you multiple options for how a fight scene was going to play out, and that was always cool. So all the fight scenes are not always the same. So you'll see in a bit once we actually get to the whole planning how we're going to take down all the guys with guns in here. When you highlight a person, you'll see like 2 or 3 different points of interest near them that you can use in the fight, and depending on what you select, it will alter what Batman does in the fight. And that's such a cool way of adding like it's such a tiny little choice, but it means the world, you know, because it's the illusion of giving you more choice than you actually do have, you know. And I think it is pretty cool.
That's the most heavily guarded door in the building.
Gotta be Falcone's hideout.
Oh, well, now we know where he's at.
The doorbell.
4 armed guards.
Very convenient that he can just detect weapons like that.
I'll put together a plan of attack.
We actually do not see him do that again anywhere in this series. Very interesting. You would think that'd be a very handy feature.
Couple of options for taking this guy down.
Okay, so here, this is what I'm talking about. It's done very similarly to the crime scene investigation, in which you link objects together. So you can, yeah. So right there, I had a choice between using that and then grabbing the expensive sculpture and just throwing at him. So I'm gonna use the Batarang to knock down that light fixture to go and get him. So yeah. And again, depending on what color that you chose for your tech, all of this is going to appear in a different color, which is, it's kind of cool. You know, it adds a little bit of replayability, you know, if you're ever just like, hey, you know, I'm just gonna play through this game one more time. I'm gonna choose yellow because I've never actually done yellow before. You know, might as well go for yellow. Why the heck not, man? Be mellow with your yellow. Now I'm just talking out of my butt. Anyway, yeah. So it's kind of cool that we can make these preparations to do this, and it's going to lead up to a pretty epic fight scene. I can't wait to get this down. Some of this is going to look really brutal. You know, Batman. You know, for as much as you can tell people that they're going too far, it's really funny when you're actually fighting as Batman, and he's like crazy brutal, throwing batarangs at people's heads, and blood spurts out, and it's like, yeah, no, they're fine. I don't kill anybody.
Bruce, have you formulated your plan of attack?
I'm going in.
Very good, sir. Your turn to crash his party.
Yeah. That right there is what we call narrative symmetry. In the beginning, Falcone crashes Bruce Wayne's party. In the end, Batman crashes Falcone's. Oh man, they choreograph these fights so well. They're so cool. See what I mean? Pretty darn brutal there. Yeah, let me just meander up these stairs past this crowd of people screaming. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Boom. And that probably hurts because I'm assuming that's a marble table, and those are not exactly soft. And here we get the villain killing his own men cliche. Again, really love the actor for Falcone. He just nails gangster so well. Oh yeah, you better be scared. These batarangs are freaking brutal in this. It's amazing.
How about this one?
How about no?
You can't sneak up on me.
We're lucky Batman has very good hand-eye coordination. Because, you know, if I were in that case, I would definitely struggle with that. Sure, I'm gonna toss you in the fireplace. Why not? Seems like a very Batman thing to do.
Stay down, Falcone. We can end this now. You've got a lot to learn, kid.
Oh boy. Finishing move time. And so now we are going to nuke Falcone's headquarters. Because that seems like the right thing to do. Kaboom. I could throw the batarang at the gun, but no. Gosh, I love Troy Baker's Batman. His Bruce Wayne's really compelling, and just the alterations they do to the Batman voice is just really cool. This is almost like the definitive Batman portrayal in a way for me, just in terms of like the dynamic between Bruce and Batman.
The White Rose. You think I wanted to lead you here?
So wait, maybe things aren't quite as what they seem. It seems like those henchmen were not actually Falcone's guys. And that maybe they just stole the chemical from him.
Still want to play games?
Huh.
Being played here, including you. Those chemicals you're so riled up about, they're mine, all right? But someone is trying to cut me out of the deal, because I did not make that mess at the docks.
Then who did?
No, we're done. Gotham's watching now.
Let's see, do I want to be evil Batman and impale him on some rebar, or do I want to actually be a good caped crusader and just arrest the guy? I'll arrest him. It's gonna intimidate the heck out of him though, but you know, whatever.
Spill it, Falcone, while you still can.
It's the Waynes. They're behind all this.
I'm sorry, what?
You want to save this city? Well, the Waynes are the biggest gangsters in Gotham.
Oh my goodness. So everything the media's been saying is true.
Thanks for the assist.
Oh no.
Now we only have to take one
My
of them
daddy
down.
was a bad
Open
man.
fire.
Oh, that's not good. Now the cops are shooting at me. Oh man, today's not a good day. Looks sick as hell, gliding off though. So yeah.
Fire and smoke could reportedly be seen from
Now here's a wrap-up news story here. Kind of surprised we don't do this for other episodes. This is kind of the only time we really end on a big wrap-up from the news.
who was found dangling over a 50-story drop. Bet Falcone loved that view. Though I'd say the crime boss getting his is well overdue. Falcone has slipped through the law's grasp for years, but after this dramatic arrest and evidence released by the GCPD's Lieutenant Gordon, Falcone's going away for a long, long time. And speaking of newly uncovered criminal dealings,
You know, I'm surprised that the news would just release Jim Gordon's name with that. You would think that there would be something against, you know, outing the person who, you know, helped catch this known criminal who has immense influence and power and can probably easily send somebody to kill Gordon. But, you know, whatever.
we no longer have such assurances. And even worse, it seems the apple hasn't fallen far from the tree. Gotham's greatest son, Bruce Wayne, seen here in the company of gangsters, may be just as crooked as his parents. In his defense, Wayne fired back saying,
"Whoever fabricated these lies about my family, they will get what they deserve. Understood?"
in a world where the Waynes, our golden family, are corrupt, who are we left with? Who can Gothamites look up to? The supposed hero Batman? Only time will tell. Meanwhile, we'll keep digging for the truth. But the prominent feeling throughout Gotham is that the Waynes' time in the sun is ending.
Alfred, you're looking like you're hiding stuff. I don't like this.
Suit, the car, this entire cave.
Master Bruce?
Everything I built. I created all of this because I didn't want any more innocent people to die. If Falcone's telling the truth about my parents, then what the hell did we do this for?
Bruce,
What have you been hiding from me? Alfred!
Oh, man. And with that, that was Batman the Telltale Series, Episode 1, Realm of Shadows. Wow, what a ride from start to finish here. You know, so many cool shaking up of the foundation of Batman. And here, get a look at some of the choices I made in comparison to what everybody else did. But I'm just going to talk about the episode as a whole right now because, man, this is such a good episode, such a good start to the series, and leaves a really interesting cliffhanger with the fact that, yeah, Thomas Wayne was most definitely involved with Carmine Falcone. To what extent, I don't know, but it definitely seems like Thomas and Martha were not exactly the knights in shining armor that they tend to be in most Batman stories. So this changes a lot. This adds a whole new dynamic to Batman. So let's check out what's going to happen next time in the next episode of Batman the Telltale Series.
Died, they left me as caretaker of their estate, their son, and their secrets. I would never betray them. Your parents were good people, Bruce, no matter what that thug Falcone told you.
Then swear to me there's no truth to it.
The evidence you brought me on Falcone held up. Maybe I misjudged you.
Now Batman's beating up mobsters too. Wonder who he's after next.
Hell of a view.
Bruce, the Wayne name is toxic. I have to do what's best for my campaign. What's best for Gotham. I have to distance myself.
I will find the truth. Along with anyone who stands in my way.
You're darn right, Batman, yeah. So this was the very first episode, and man, so many cool things going on. A lot of really cool reinventions of the character. I gotta say, definitely off to a really great start, and I'm super excited for you guys to join me in the next episode. So next time, we're going to be doing Episode 2, Children of Arkham. This has been Joey of the Superhero Fan Show. See you later.